I'm Virginia Gessert, and I am so happy to be here today to help celebrate this occasion. I came in 1963, and I happen to bear the Nebraska Occupational Therapy License 001.
My name is Lauren Sheehan. I graduated from Creighton's Occupational Therapy program in the class of 2007. One of my favorite memories of the program was getting to travel abroad to the Dominican Republic on a service learning trip. There were 7 students and 2 practitioners that went down and provided service to the people of the Dominican Republic in various locations, and that spirit of service really stuck with me.
My name is Pat Gromack, and I was hired as first faculty member at Creighton University in 1985. I came from California after 20 years of clinical practice. I wanted to envision my dream of being able to share the joy about occupational therapy with young professionals.
Hi, I'm Don Biggs from the class of 1994 Occupational Therapy Department. Some of my fondest memories probably start with the time I spent with the students that I spent time with. I think the program really promoted a lot of group training and a lot of student interaction, and it was really fun to have the opportunity to meet and to get to know the students really, really well.
I have the privilege of introducing my esteemed colleagues for our version of The View. And with this version, we're going to be talking about the history of our department from the beginning. So I'm Helene Lohman, and I started in 1990.
And I'm Dr. Yolanda Griffiths, and I started in 1994.
I'm Dr. Shirley Blanchard, and I arrived on the scene in 1995.
Linda Gabriel. I started in January of 1989.
What were some of the highlights or the most memorable moments that you have from that very early phase of the establishment of OT at Creighton? And Linda, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, while I was not on faculty, I was involved in the process of getting it started. Dean Benedict appointed me to the search committee, so I was involved in selecting the interviewing. I remember picking Pat Gromack up at the airport for her interview.
It was quite something to prepare and be excited for the students coming in. I was involved in the interview process to offer spaces to the first class. And practically everyone's question was, are we accredited? When will we get accredited? Are you sure we're going to be accredited? Nobody wanted to enroll in a program that did not have accreditation.
I came to Nebraska in 1963, which was before we had the school. And when I first came here, I wanted to work, and there were no ads in the paper and no ads in AJOT. And so the first time there was an ad in the paper for an OTR wanted immediately, I called, but it happened to be that they wanted an over-the-road truck driver, not an occupational therapist. So that was my beginning experience.
And we were over in the Chris building,
right?
Different than the Boyne building, and it was a very, very small, tight area. It was just the very end of a hall, and we had just a secretary and our offices surrounding it, and it was really funny because computers had barely come in, which is so funny.
All of our phone messages were by hand.
Right, and it was just so funny how we just evolved to this highly tech program. But I just remember that when we even got computers, they were not connected to the network. We did not have email. And you even built a computer. I remember they had a computer class to teach students how to do word processing. And we were a really, really small, tight faculty at the time. Claudia Runyon was our director. And there was just 4 of us, and we went on road trips together, and we started the retreats. And that was what was really, really special in the early years. And it was during those early years that they first started roasting the faculty.
We had an idea that we wanted to go out and actually, if you will, roast the faculty. And we were told that we shouldn't probably do that. But unfortunately, we had 10 guys in our class. And when you get 10 guys together, typically we don't always follow the rules. And so we ended up doing this anyway. And as a result, all of us played the female faculty and actually put on a couple classroom sessions and really had a good time. I actually had the great fortune of being Brenda, and was able to have my female counterparts help me dress up so that I looked like Brenda, which took a considerable amount of time. And we had a great time roasting them, and I know today you still hear about it. And we started a tradition that continues today with the program.
Some of the interesting memories was the post-professional program first started with students coming on campus. It wasn't distance, and that started in 1995, and it was rather evolutionary for our program because we had a BSOT program, and then we had a post-professional on-campus program. And in 1999, we admitted our first entry-level students, and I remember, you probably remember this too, that we had 67 in that first class, and we had triple split labs, and we were trying to find where we could put our labs anywhere on campus, and I think we were just, I know I was so impressed that 67 students wanted an entry-level clinical doctorate.
My vision as chair was mostly that we would have a joint vision as faculty. We had started the OTD program and needed to transition from a bachelor's to the OTD program. And because it was so new, both to us and to any program in the country, we needed really to form our sort of shared view of what that meant. So we initiated a process of sort of identifying the core components of the program, the themes of the program, and really what we would be known for. And part of that, fulfilling that vision, had to do with also making sure that all faculty that we had were completing their terminal degrees, so that they could be involved in generating knowledge as well as in teaching that knowledge.
One of the really inspiring things that happened is at the AOTA conference in Miami, I think it was 2002, Dr. Gail Fidler, who's one of our grand dames of our profession, she's no longer alive, but she sought me out backstage and she said, "Yolanda Griffiths, oh, Creighton University, entry-level clinical doctorate," and I thought, oh, wow. I braced myself because we had always come to conference with challenges and trying to defend our program, and the whole room backstage at this auditorium went silent when this woman said that, and she said, "It's about time."
One of the highlights of my time as chair of the Occupational Therapy Department was in 2008 when we had our inaugural entering class from Alaska. We are thrilled that we are able to offer the OTD degree to students who reside in Alaska and who will eventually be providing service to the people of Alaska. And we're excited to see them graduate in December 2011. So go Alaska.
Probably two people immediately come to mind. And one is Charlotte Roine. And the reason I say Charlotte is because occupational therapy has lots of background in neurorehabilitation. And that's one of the strong things that we bring to the table. Sometimes it's not always acknowledged, but it's the that neuro rehab piece and the understanding of neuroanatomy across the lifespan and how it impacts all of our occupations that Charlotte gave to us. And I think she's visionary in terms of her research. I think she's visionary, and she doesn't look at, although she has a focus on pediatrics at times, it's what she teaches in terms of neuro is across the lifespan. I have that same interest in neuro rehab and how neural structures impact what occupational therapists do in terms of rehabilitating occupations.
And as we are wrapping up our conversation, I guess I would just ask if you would take a moment, and if somebody, and I'm going to do it, asks you to summarize 25 years of occupational therapy at Creighton University in one or two sentences or a phrase, what would you say? I'm just going to throw it out there and let you all respond.
My thought on that is you've come a long way, baby. I'll leave it at that.
And you have to be around 25 years to know what that means, right?
Yeah, that commercial, yeah.
I don't know, I kind of had two things floating around, and the first one was, unto whom much is given, much is expected. And then the other one was, this came from a research project that I'm kind of doing with the Girls Inc. right now. Strong, bold, and smart. And that's their slogan, is strong, bold, and smart.
I think when I was reflecting on this question, I was thinking not only we were visionaries, but we were thoughtful in how we looked at it. We take a lot of thought. Sometimes, and you know, we were creative. We were also dynamic in that we look at healthcare, we look at student needs, we look at faculty resources, and we say we can do this better. And we keep looking at improving the program. We don't stay static. You know, and I think that's something to be said.
And and it goes with what you're saying. It's been a fun and growing ride, and it's gone really fast. You know, it has. You know, and I meant it by fun and growing, because we were constantly over these 25 years. We've grown.
The future of our program, as I see it, is that we need to articulate and maintain the identity of our program.
You have dreamed big dreams, and your dreams have become a reality that continues to shape the profession of occupational therapy. The dream was the development of the first clinical doctorate ever offered in the field of occupational therapy, a degree structure that positions our practitioners and the profession for the 21st century. I am so proud to have shared in a small way the legacy of educational excellence and innovative leadership that are the tradition at Creighton University and the Department of Occupational Therapy.
People have been so willing and so anxious to have us succeed, and they have been so helpful in providing training sites. Creighton graduates are, I know from the other side of the picture, they're sought after by administrators throughout the state because they know they're well trained, they know that they are going to bring something special to their programs.